Good morning, everyone, or at least it is morning here in Chicago. You guys know the routine. Go ahead and drop where you're tuning in from, what time of day it is in the comments so we know we are live. Today, I have with me an awesome friend coming in from Atlanta, Georgia. He has a really cool story. He was a TA and HR manager in the past, and his entire department was impacted during COVID-19. And as he was on his job search, he began helping others. That's just the kind of guy he is. He's a giver, and eventually he started helping so many people. He decided he didn't even think about the fact like, okay, where's my job search? No, I'm just going to continue helping people, and founded a very cool career coaching organization called FulPhillment. And so this morning, I would like to introduce you to my good friend, Phil Davis.
Good morning.
Hey,
Hi.
Phil. All right,
Well,
let's switch this so I can zoom big on you. Perfect. All right, Phil. So go ahead. And for those people who do not know you, um, share a little bit of what your story is, what your background is.
yeah, totally. And thank you so much for having me here. It's a good start to the morning over here in Atlanta. I'm getting jolted with your presence, with folks in the audience, and of course jolted with my coffee as well. So we are good to go. So yeah, man. I mean, goodness gracious, I would really just high level it, right? I've been in the HR like recruiting space for about 10 or so years in corporate, and of course I have a unique story because yes, my previous role was eliminated year and a half, almost like 2 years ago. It's hard to believe, but two roles prior, I was also in an elimination as well. So not a lot of people know I've been through two layoffs, right, since 2018, right? That's crazy. It's a lot. And so for me, and like you said in the amazing introduction you did on me, and I definitely appreciate it. I decided to say, you know what, like I wanted to just give back and do something different with my career, and try to steer away from the corporate world and find unique ways to just give back to the community based on the stories that I've had, just with the layoffs and with, of course, the heartache that goes through it and all those kind of things, right? And so you're right. Last year, early 2020 onward, I said, you know what? I want to just find a way to job search, to find a role for myself, to apply, to do all the things that traditionally could work, but you know, have like not as much result, right, within the actual ways of strategizing your job search. Really had no luck in finding anything, that was really going to be a good opportunity for me long term. So I said, I'm going to find something else while I just get out on LinkedIn and start networking with some people. And I'm like, oh man, what's this going to do for me, right? What is it going to do for me in trying to get into my search? And as I started thinking and reflecting on amazing people like you and other people out there in the community that were really givers as well, I said, you know what? I'm going to find something that I can do with my time because that's the most important. I don't want to just sit twiddling my thumbs all day and just give to people and really just help to empower, to inspire, and of course, to fulfill other job seekers out there. Because look, we've all been through
I see what you
crazy,
did there.
yeah, we've all been through crazy stuff, right? The past few years. And so that's just where I'm at right now. I've continued to basically do what I'm doing. I just made a business out of it. So yeah.
Let's see if my Wi-Fi is going to work. So for those of you tuning in, hey, John, good morning. Kira, good morning. The infamous Gabe, what's up? Hey, how are you? Good morning, everyone. And yeah, I'm sure everyone in the comments they're on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook can relate to that. The job search sucks, and being laid off is hurtful.
Yeah.
And so, whether you're in a position where you've been let go or you're just miserable in your job, Phil just gave you like a knowledge bomb there that you might not have picked up on. And that was I was not finding a good long term fit. And so I wanted to do something with my time. So I was a giver. And so two things there. One, don't just take if you need to put food on your table, take a job, take any job, right?
Absolutely.
But don't settle. Keep looking until you find that right position for what is going to fulfill you, and as well as meet your salary expectations and your be aligned with your values and things of that nature. And then the second thing, if you're not working but you are looking for a job, stay busy with your time. And I did a presentation last night for a boot camp, Phil. And one of the things that I was talking about was how this I'm sorry if you're watching, how this young man, he builds smart mirrors in his spare time.
Yeah.
And he went from, being not in the tech industry, but being techie, like always wanting to fiddle, and started building smart computers, learned how to do it off a YouTube video and started selling them. And I mean, he's like every couple of weeks he's building, a smart mirror, selling it for $2,000. And then boom, there you go. Like that's how he's been filling his time while earning these certifications to get him, the role that he's looking for. And that right there is, let's just go ahead and call it out. Let that be your holiday job search tip number one. Stay busy with your time.
Absolutely.
If you're passionate about something, do it. This guy I'm referring to, he likes to tinker. Go ahead, tinker. See if you can monetize it as some type of side hustle that maybe you don't want to do full time. And who knows, maybe you're going to be more like Phil and realize that the path that you thought you wanted is no longer the path. And go ahead and chase that and make it happen. So we got a couple more people to say good morning to, Phil, before we go on to some of the next
Absolutely.
tips. All right. Teresa is in the house.
Hey.
Good morning, Teresa. And Leonard, hello from Albania. Good morning. Good afternoon for you.
Got some global reach. I love it.
Yes. All right, Phil. So let's get into it. This is what I hear all the time. And you've been in the TA and an HR manager seat, so you're going to know for multiple organizations that you've worked with, companies don't hire during the holidays. True or false?
Wah, wah, wah. I would say that's a big false. They absolutely do. And I can tell you right now, the busiest time in my experience and in my time being in manufacturing and the last job I was in, we were busiest during quarter three, quarter four, especially during the holidays. There was, I looked it up this morning. There was an article by Flex Jobs that I think it's been around a while, but I mean, they say that there are like 3 reasons to really ramp up your job search during the holidays. And really these are like the key takeaways, right? Companies are absolutely hiring. They're ramping up. You start seeing articles, you start seeing things out there that say, oh no, it's the holidays. We're on a hiring freeze, no pun intended, right? Because the weather's cooler and things like that. It's getting freezing out there. But it's completely false. I mean, depending on industry, yes, there will be more companies that are hiring more talent. But I think a lot of it, even now, just if we look at like the pandemic and just everything that's going on in the market, right? There are even a lot more jobs out there this year than last year, right? Just in general,
yeah.
right? The other thing too that Flex Jobs said that I thought was awesome is, when typically during the end of the year, there is less competition out there on a job seeking perspective, because a lot of, job seekers, they're seeing family, they're naturally having time with, friends for the holidays, that's kind of stuff, which is natural. But that brings a lot more opportunity for those job seekers during this time or this holiday season to be noticed a little bit more. But then also the third thing I think that's really the most important is, that Flex Job says is there is free time, right? There's a lot more free time. Like if you're in a position, right, like right now, during the holidays, projects may start to diminish or slow down, right? So if you're really wanting to get out of your organization and try to find something else, you have more of that kind of flexibility or that free time to do the job hunt. And I always tell people too, like just in comments and stuff on LinkedIn, I mean, the time to start is now, right? It's absolutely time to move forward and to make that happen, because there are companies out there that they want to close jobs now and they want people to start even prior to 2022, which is incredible. So absolutely, it's I'd say it's totally false. So
I, I obviously would agree. One, like you pointed out, companies want to hire now
yeah,
because the reality is, if they don't hire by the end of the year, then in a lot of organizations, what their policy is, you didn't fill this rec this whole entire time. You don't need it. You've now lost this headcount. It's eliminated from your budget, and then departments are screwed because they don't have then they don't have enough people to do the work.
right.
And we all know how that goes. And so this is your opportunity to reach out to some of these hiring managers and say, hey, I saw you posted that you're hiring for your team. Let's connect. Let's chat. And you brought up point number 2 about how there's time visiting with family and friends and holiday events and things like that. What a lot of people miss out on is either not going to these events to focus on their job search, or will go to these events and not want to think about their job search. That's both like really unfortunate ways to spend the holiday season. Go to those events and network the hell out of those events, because the people you know, like, and trust are going to be the ones to refer you to people that are outside of your network. So if I'm going to, so like my girlfriend always has like a little mixer for Hanukkah, right? So I don't really know how that fits into like the religion, but there's cocktails involved. I'm there.
Hey, there you go.
So that's the perfect time to say, like, yeah, I'm actually on my job search. I'm interested in X, Y, and Z company. Can you introduce me to anybody within those organizations? And better yet, figure out who are going to be at some of these events that you're going to. Look at their LinkedIn connection list. Look at some of the organizations they've been at and ask them, hey, like, say I'm going to the Helsher family Christmas. Shout out to all the Helshers, right? That's one side of my family. And I'm going to say, like, hey, Jeff, I saw you were connected with Phil. I'm really interested in working for his department or doing the exact role that he's doing, or whatever it may be that's connecting you with that person. Jeff, can you introduce me to him? And Jeff might say, I don't really know him. We're just connected on LinkedIn. Okay, no problem. But are you feel comfortable with me like reaching out to him anyways? Jeff is going to say, yep, absolutely, Tegan, no problem. So now I'm going to reach out to Phil and say, hey, Phil, was just at a family event. Jeff spoke so highly of you, said he didn't really know you, but knows that you're respected within the industry. Are you open to connecting?
Yeah.
One, you sent a personalized connection request. Phil's going to accept it. And 2, Phil is now going to feel obligated to connect with you, because who's Jeff? Shoot, how do I not remember Jeff? And he was saying nice things about me. Like, oh no, yeah, let me talk to Tegan and make this right. It's human nature. It's basic psychology. So
Yeah.
Phil, at these holiday events that people are going to, what are other ways aside from letting people know that you're looking, being very clear on what value you can bring to an organization and what kind of companies you're targeting? What other tips do you have?
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly that is probably, you probably agree, that's probably the most important, right? Is even taking it a step back, right? Is really finding clarity in what you want. I mean, I think with clarity comes planning, and then with planning comes execution, right? So if you're just
Yes.
kind of, and the reason why I kind of want to step back a little bit is because there are people out there, either in the audience, those in the replay, or just in general, that they may not know where they want to go. They may not know what kind of role they want, or they want to maybe transfer into a different industry, which is something that I know both of us are seeing a lot of with like our business clients and other job seekers out there. So it's really finding that clarity, right? If you want to go into a tech industry from like manufacturing, or if you want to, switch it, if you're in tech and you want to do more manufacturing, just being hypothetical, right?
Yep.
Trying to figure out ways where you can show, right, that employer, really more importantly, show those like recruiters or those hiring managers at those organizations that you want to work at, that value add that you have, that uniqueness that you have, but then most importantly, like how you would be able to really help them. Because as we all know, right, job positions that are available, that are open, or that are in the hidden job market, right? As we know that exists,
Yeah,
a job
absolutely.
is a job is there because that company has a problem. There is some kind of a challenge either within that department or within that organization or within that certain project, that company is looking for an individual to get into that role to help solve that problem. So it's not just getting somebody filled into a job, or somebody filled into a job for that reason. For any other reason than that. It's there to just help that company solve their problem. So I think the most important thing is when you're reaching out to those hiring managers, those recruiters, those people at those orgs that you want to work at, right? It's helping them understand as soon as possible how you are the one that's going to help them solve their problem, right? It's you versus you.
Absolutely.
It's you versus you, truly, at the end of the day. And I think, as another nugget, right? We talk about, imposter syndrome. We talk about comparing ourselves with others. I think if you have that mental game where it's like, you know what, it is me versus me, and all at the end of the day, it's about me getting into my dream job, my next career home. If you start thinking about it that way versus, oh man, I saw, this other person get into that job. Why not me, right? Why did I get, why did I get into that role? And you start thinking that kind of negative way, it becomes more difficult to kind of maintain that clarity. So I think it's important to keep the mindset on, it is just, you're in competition with yourself, and
Yep.
you're there, show the world your value add, and show it in a way that is easy, is simple, is clear, and is unique, because it's you at the end of the day. So
I love that. Like, I am so big on finding clarity. I actually have a guide in my featured section. So, for those of you who are watching this live or in the replay section, I have a free downloadable in my featured section where it's worksheets where you can get that clarity. What do I like about work? What do I
mhm.
dislike about work? Is it the work I'm doing, or is it how people make me feel while I'm doing the work? If you're in a really toxic situation, you may not like your your coworkers, but at the end of the day, you may actually really love what you do, or you may not. And finding that clarity, like Phil said, is an absolute gem. Um, Shameless plug to Phil right now. He helps with this. This is part of his coaching program that he helps individuals find clarity, gain that confidence. It's really, really hard when you fall in that comparison trap. I mean, we have multiple career coaches in the comments right now. Shout out to Erica. She works with more senior level leaders, but she knows this to be true. Shout out to Manny. He helps early grads. There's so many different
Mhm.
resources to help you find your goals. Gabe,
Mhm.
he's a LinkedIn live streamer expert. He helps, people like me be more effective at my live streaming. If you haven't checked out his lives, Phil, they're so dope. He has like a moving background, a video. I was thinking, like, if I have a video entry, like maybe I do Black Betty like as my entry song, something
Yes,
crazy like that.
yes.
But yeah, so in the same way that Gabe helps people polish their LinkedIn live presence, You need to help yourself polish your professional image. If you don't control the narrative of your professional brand, someone else will. And so, like Phil said, you need to find that clarity on who you are, what value you have to offer. So that way, once you have that clarity, you can start doing the company research to figure out what their pain points are. Now, during the holiday season, this is the easiest time to network because
Truly
everybody's in
is.
a giving mood, right? Like you can connect with somebody and say, um, hey, it's a month of gratitude. If someone hasn't mentioned it recently, like kudos to you for all that you're offering on LinkedIn. When you send that personalized connection note on LinkedIn to cold outreach, right? You don't know this person. They're going to be more likely to connect with you.
They are.
And then, like we were just mentioning, if you have someone introduce you to someone else, skyrocket the opportunity um to get to know someone, because what a lot of people do is they apply online and then they pray, and that is not the way to get a job. If you are strategic in every other aspect of your job, whether you're a janitor and saying, okay, the way I'm going to get this whole entire building cleaned in this amount of time, saving the most amount of resources, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and this, and this, to a CEO and everything in between. And every single job is important, equally important to the holistic organization. You have to figure out how you're going to do the job to the best of your ability, to keep the job, to be good at the job, to be proud of yourself doing the job, because most of us are feel rewarded for the type of work that we're doing. And then figure out how to word it to others. I mean, Phil always drops the fulfillment, like that's so dope. Figure out your tagline. So Phil, we've talked about a lot, networking, reaching out to cold outreaches, how to get warm outreaches, how to still spend time with family and friends during the holiday season, but do
Yep.
so in a way where you're getting introductions, not in a sleazy way. What else? What else can people do during their holiday job search?
Yeah. I mean, I really think that I'm really big on accountability, right? So one of the things that I've started offering just on my coaching side is I call it accountability attunement, right? So for those of you who may not know, like I have a musical theme into fulfillment to my business because I studied music in college. I was a voice major. I wasn't even an HR person, right? And I know we haven't really talked a lot about like transferable skills, but it's very, it's very transferable skills it's out there. And I'd say like I'm the king of transferable skills because I went from music degree to then getting into like administration with a TV network, then moving along into a technical position, technical recruiter role, and then I worked at a bakery, for gosh sakes, in recruiting, talent acquisition. So for those folks out there who are like, man, like my skills won't transfer into another industry, they absolutely will. And so I kind of go back into that mindset shift, that imposter syndrome. Just know that the skills that you have and the unique talents that you have will absolutely transfer. You just have to find a way, or fine tune, if you will, a way, whether it's on your resume, on your LinkedIn, to show that story and to show the skills that are transferable into that next job or that next company that you're looking at. That's just something I wanted to kind of notate as well. I think really the most important thing is, though, too, is just to keep moving, right? Keep moving along your search. Keep the momentum going, right? If there are roles out there that you're interested in, keep networking, keep engaging. Commenting is important, right? So if you see a company that's posting about stuff that really intrigues you, or like a recruiter or somebody at that company that is doing a posting or something like that, like engage with them. Really do meaningful comments and really engage with those people,
Yes.
for sure. And then go into, like Tegan said earlier, go into that connection request with personalized messages, and just even then, like if you comment on stuff, and I mean, recruiters, I mean, they will remember, because there are plenty, the messages that I like, even just recruiter hat on right now, are the ones where people reach out and they say, hey, I saw your post on X, I loved, XYZ, or I love this on your LinkedIn profile, right? You make it more about them in the moment in those messages, and I think the chances of them responding are higher, for sure. But keep the momentum moving. And really, like, the most important thing too is truly, like, just never give up. And that's kind of like, if you feel stuck along your search, if you're not getting that momentum that you want, or the results that you're looking for, I mean, again, like Tegan said, there are plenty of career coaches out there who want to help, like truly want to help and want to give back. Because, I mean, look, um, I may not be, I may not be an ideal coach for you, but Tegan might, or, or Manny may be for you as well, right? There's, each career coach out there has a different style of his, her, or their own, like, way of coaching, right? And so it's, the world is your oyster, is what I'm trying to say, right? And there's so many people out there who are truly, who are willing to help. You just have to keep going, and just don't quit.
All right, guys. So to recap, smart ways to job search during the holidays. 1, love yourself. Bring back your confidence that you are the shit and you have something to offer an organization. Find that clarity of all of those reasons why you are amazing. You may not believe it at first, but tell yourself it, and then find the proof that you are. Maybe you save time. Maybe you save money. Maybe you always got great compliments from your peers, that you just have a way of bringing teams together, or your organization, or whatever it may be. That's special for you. That's your secret sauce. Own it. Then package that up with a pretty red, blue, or whatever color
Mm-hmm.
holiday you like bow,
Mm-hmm.
and all the other festive things going on this holiday season. So confidence, clarity, then outreach. People who know, like, and love you. Hey, can you connect me with anybody at XYZ company? Or go a step further and say, hey, I saw you were connected with so and so. Can you make an introduction? Then when you speak to that warm lead, ask them then, hey, is there anybody else that you think I should be talking to? I'm specifically interested in positions within HR, positions within IT, positions within this department or that department. The more specific you can get, the better. And most likely they'll be like, yeah, actually, let me put you in touch with so-and-so. Absolutely, let's do it. So after you do that outreach, you need to be applying for jobs too. If you see that a hiring manager is posting, hey, I'm hiring in my department, message them, DM them, do both. Apply to the position and reach out to them saying, hey, I saw that you're hiring. I'm going to go apply in the comment section. You can say, and then reach out to them saying, hey, Phil, I just applied to your automation manager position. I would like to meet further to share my understanding of emerging trends, innovations, and how technologies and automation can propel your company's success. Call me at, drop your number, however it's best to reach you. You have to package yourself up in the
Correct.
pretty wrapping. And so that way people want to, like that shiny syndrome, people want shiny things. Make
They
yourself
do.
that shiny object. And know in your head, companies are hiring. They are hiring. They want you. Let yourself be found. And so those are the quick tips that we have for you to, jolt your holiday job search. But Phil, I'm going to put you on a spot.
Yep.
Can you leave us off with a special tune of your choice? However you want to end it, whatever tip you want to leave us off on, and maybe a special jingle.
Absolutely. So, okay. So in the post I did yesterday, I had tis the season to be jobby, which is true. So I've come up with a little spiel of deck the halls in job search. If I could say it, in job search lyrics. There you go. Okay. And this is like the takeaway. All right. So Deck your job search with a hobby. Fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jobby. Fa la 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 la. Make time to rest and never quit. Fa la 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 la. Keep going because you're worth it. Fa la 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 la. Now, like that's my take on it. So I literally I
I
wrote
will
I wrote
never.
that this morning. So
I'll never be able to top closing out a LinkedIn Live compared to how you just did it. So, okay, Phil, closing thoughts so we can let these fine people back to the rest of their day and start implement. So you learned a little. Now go ahead, implement massively. All of these tips will get you so far this holiday season. So, Phil, how are you going to leave us off?
you are worth it. You are worth your dream job. You are worth your career, and the hard work will pay off. I mean, the hard work will pay off, and I think the most important thing is seek help. If you need the help and the guidance, reach out.
All right, guys. Well, you heard it there from Phil. Please make sure you go ahead and follow and connect with Phil on LinkedIn. If you are part of Phil's network and tuning into my network, feel free to reach out to me as well. We are here to help and support you and help you reach your goals. Everybody have a fantastic day. And I'm going to drop a little secret that I haven't announced yet on LinkedIn. I will be having a very special LinkedIn Live this Friday with the Senior Vice President of Procurement for a Fortune 100 organization.
Woo-woo.
And she is going to be discussing value-driven leadership. And a lot of people are leaving their jobs because they don't feel fulfilled in their work. And so how can you incorporate your values into your leadership role? And how do you, as a busy executive or as a busy leader or as a busy early career, whatever category you fall, how do you have that work-life balance? Is it even possible? We shall find out.